Hello, welcome to this new What I Eat in a Day video. I started my morning by picking some herbs in my garden for my tea. I picked some nettle, dandelion and sage. I gave the herbs a little rinse and then added them into my teapot with a white tea bag. Good morning everyone, here's what I eat in a day as a fairy. Basically, I'm going to be putting in a little more effort into my meals today, getting creative in the kitchen, going for a little forage to add some wild goodness into my meals. I don't eat like this every day, it's about once a week where I have the time to get creative and just experiment in the kitchen, and hopefully we're going to be creating some lovely and beautiful things today. I'm looking to nourish my body as well as my soul as well as my eyeballs, because hopefully they're going to look pretty. You've probably seen some more of my prettier meals on my Instagram. They've been doing kind of well on there, and people have been wanting to see the process behind what I've been creating. So that is what this video is all about, so I hope you enjoy. I got my Riverford delivery this morning, so this is what I'm going to show you first, everything I got from Riverford. I haven't had one of these in a couple of weeks and I'm so excited because I've chosen some of my favourite things and also some of the most beautiful things on there. So, we have radishes, we have rainbow beetroot. I absolutely adore rainbow beetroot and they make any meal look so beautiful. Fennel, lemons, oranges. The Riverford oranges are like no other, they're absolutely insane. Rainbow carrots. I love rainbow anything. I love pretty vegetables. Butternut squash. I think this is a crown prince squash. I think this might be my favourite kind of squash. What is this? Oh, pomegranates! I forgot I got these! Oh, so exciting! I've really been fancying pomegranate recently, and I also just love putting them on salads and stuff. I think it goes so well. Organic chives. All of this is organic, by the way. It's the best produce ever. Purple figs, white figs. Well, actually, they're called black figs and white figs. Chilies, red onions, ginger, and more beetroot, more beautiful beetroot. So this is called Chioggia beetroot. I think this is the pink one. Yeah, it's the pink beetroot. I love it so much. So that is all I got from Riverford. And I have a code for £15 off of your first order, which I will leave in the description. You can click the link and get £15 off. It is the best veg box delivery ever. It's pretty reasonable for organic produce, but they literally just have the best produce ever. So if you want to try it out, then please do that. I freaking love it. I'm gonna put it all away in my fridge, and my fridge is gonna look so beautiful. I popped all of my fruit and veggies away, and then I went out for a little walk and forage. First of all, I found some oyster mushrooms, and I think these were a little old and maybe full of maggots, so I didn't pick any. I picked some turkey tail mushroom, and then I picked 2 parasol mushrooms. I collected some rose hips just to eat then and there. This is how I eat them. I basically squeeze out the juice out of the top. How satisfying is that? And then eat the juice because they have some really irritable itchy hairs in. Then I had an orange. The last 2 things I picked were gorse flowers and yarrow leaves. When I got home, I had my breakfast, which was actually leftover vegetable and grain stew. This is one of my favourite meals and I love having it for breakfast. It feels so nourishing and filling. I had it with a slice of my homemade rye bread with some olive oil. It was so delicious. This is a meal I make very often, and it's actually inspired by a Greek lentil soup. I then went into my garden to pick some edible flowers for my meals today. I picked calendula, sweet william, more calendula. I have such an abundance of this in my garden. Some nasturtium flowers, these are so sweet and peppery. Some violas, fuchsias, A lot of people don't realise that all fuchsias are actually edible, and they have really tasty edible berries too. This is borage and this is hollyhock, and here is my little flower haul. I then made myself this chicory drink with added chaga powder, so good. It's cake time! I am going to bake a cake, and basically this cake I made up while I was falling asleep last night. I really hope it's going to be nice. It feels super seasonal. So I'm going to do grated courgettes that I grew in my garden. Nettles, this is nettle powder from ground nettles that I dried and blended, and fig, but I'm only going to put the figs on after, I think. So yeah, I will write everything down below so you can follow this if you want to. Hopefully it's going to be nice, although all of the ingredients are so lovely, so it would be weird if it wasn't nice. I've now written down the entire recipe and posted it to my Instagram page, which I have linked down below, so you can make this too. It turned out so freaking good and I'm so proud. And I made my dream came true because I literally dreamt about this cake. The flavours just go so well together and I'm just really happy with it, and I'm going to be really happy every day because it means I get to eat cake for the next 2 weeks. To mix this up, I tested my new hand blender whisk attachment toy. I made a bit of a mess, but it actually worked really nicely, so I'm really happy with it. So I turned this into a 9-inch double layer round cake. I oiled my pans, poured in the mixture, and obviously had to give it a little taste and clean up the bowl because it would be so rude to waste any, and I had hope because it was already delicious. I whipped up the simplest icing for this cake with olive oil, honey and grated lemon peel. It was such a good idea. I'm definitely going to ice more cakes like this. Here are them fresh out of the oven. Also, can any other bakers not wait until they ice and dress their cake? I literally get them out straight away and plonk everything on there. I have popped the first half of my cake onto my new lovely little cake plate, and I'm decorating it with this mix of grated lemon, honey and olive oil. So simple. Usually I make a kind of nutty icing for my cakes, but I just want this to be super simple. I'm also going to sprinkle it with bee pollen, and I'm going to add some figs. I'm going to add some chopped ones to the middle before I put on the next layer, and then also some on top. So my mouth is watering. I spread on my lovely icing, added some chopped figs and some bee pollen. Look how mouth-wateringly delicious that first layer looks. So good. Then I added the top layer with a little difficulty. I always struggle and make such a mess with this, but I did it, and voila! Here is my finished cake. I added a hollyhock flower for decoration. How gorgeous does it look? I served it with some hollyhock tea and had a little picnic for one outside. I'm so happy with how it turned out looks wise. It's so beautiful. So let's see how the flavour turned out. It's really good. I love the gooey figs coming out of the middle. It's a super oily, soft, fluffy piece of cake. And the flavours all go so lovely together. I'm so glad I added lemon. It really tastes good. Also have a hollyhock tea. That was absolutely insane. This is so good. Now I'm making a hummus style dip with cannellini beans that I cooked and froze. If you watched my last video, you would have seen me prepare lots of food for future me, which is now. So I'm going to add, these have been defrosting a bit, but they're still not very defrosted, but I'm going to use white beans. Beans are literal medicine. They're so good for us, also full of protein and super filling, so I absolutely love them. And I just love having some kind of hummus dip on the go at all times. Oops. Well, some of them just went flying. These are definitely a little too frozen still. So I use any kind of bean that I have on hand. A lemon, the juice of a lemon, not the whole lemon. Take the seeds out. These lemons have so many seeds, obviously a good sign of how organic they are, but it is slightly annoying because I feel like I probably eat quite a lot of lemon seeds blended up in dips. Then I use a big old dollop of tahini. This is one that I get from Amazon. You'll find it on my little Amazon lists. So a nice healthy bit of tahini. Mine's nearly run out. That's more like it. Then a nice amount of olive oil as well. This is herb infused olive oil. Salt, pepper. Now I usually use raw garlic and I prefer it, but I have some organic garlic powder for when I don't have fresh garlic. It literally looks disgusting, I'm sorry. This is from Forest Whole Foods. I get most of my herbs and spices in bulk from their website, so as a little tip, it's cheaper to buy them in bulk and they're also organic. So I've got loads of stuff from them. And I also add just a little bit of water, and because the beans are frozen, I'm using boiled water to make it blend easier. And then we blend. It's lovely and smooth now, and I'm just going to give it a little taste. Oh, it's absolutely perfect. I'm also going to put some in a little pot to go in the freezer as well, so that future Maisie can have some. I'm always thinking about future Maisie. She's always very grateful for past Maisie. There we go. So I'm making a little something for lunch that I made up one morning when I didn't have any bread left, and basically I sliced butternut squash like this into slices and used it as bread instead. And it was my favourite breakfast for such a long time, so I'm going to make that for lunch, and I'm going to pop on the hummus that I made and also some other salad-y bits and some flowers, and we'll just see what goes on it. How gorgeous are pomegranates! I need to get them more often, they're so beautiful and delicious. Here is my finished plate of lunch. I topped my squash toasts with hummus, sauerkraut, raw beetroot, red onion, fennel, loads of flowers, chives, pomegranate. It was so flipping delicious. I'm definitely going to make this more. I already knew I loved it, but I completely forgot, so I recommend this. Now I'm having some ginger beer that I bought yesterday. I'm so excited because I've been really craving ginger beer so much. I'm not sure why, but you usually crave things that you need, so maybe I need ginger for something. Okay, hopefully I can, oh, there we go. Oh my gosh, why is this so hard to open? Okay, I think I've done it. So, yay, cheers. Oh my gosh, that is so good. And I'm going to add 2 tinctures. So I'm going to add this Wonder Workshop Botanical Guardian tincture that I use when the seasons are changing or after traveling to a different country with a very different climate. I absolutely love these. I also have a discount, so I'll leave that in the description. And I'm also adding some ghost pipe tincture, which I got sent the other day. This is from Wild Canes. I will tag their Instagram. And I'm really liking this actually. It's really grounding and relaxing. So I recommend this so far. So I'm just pop them in there and then I'll just shake it up a little bit, not too much because it's fizzy. This is so good. This is literally the most refreshing drink. I think the brand, from what I remember, is called Karma, but for some reason there's no brand name on this bottle, but I think it's Karma. For dinner, I chopped up loads of veggies ready for roasting. I chopped rainbow carrots, red onion, squash from my garden, fennel and beetroot. Look at these purple carrots, they're so beautiful. Then I went in my garden to collect some chard and nasturtiums because I wanted some greens in my diet today. Here are the finished roasted crispy caramelised vegetables. I actually ate all of these, and I boiled some brown rice spaghetti, and I chopped up some raw bits as well to mix in. I mixed it all up with loads of salt, pepper, olive oil and nutritional yeast, and obviously topped with some flowers. Super bougie, but I actually ate this in the infrared sauna, which sounds kind of crazy, but I'd really been wanting one and I kept forgetting, and I like to do it before it gets dark. I ended my food day with a lovely new tea that I purchased. It's this yogi tea pumpkin chai. It was really tasty and super autumnal. It's the next day now. Thank you so much for watching my what I eat in a day yesterday. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope it could have given you some kind of inspiration. I actually felt kind of slow yesterday, so I didn't actually get as creative as what I wanted to. However, I still felt so nourished and so happy after my beautiful day of eating. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!